Hello. Why isn't this working? Oh, there we are. Hello, everyone. Let's get live on Instagram. My computer's dying. So, before we proceed, I must plug my computer up. So, give me a second. Sorry. Not sorry. I'll be right back, y'all. I just knew I was ready, y'all. But I wasn't. Hi, everyone. Okay, I'm plugged up, juiced up, ready to go. So, y'all know what today is. It's Friday, and on Fridays, we do the market report. Okay, we're doing the market report. And so, thanks, guys, for tuning in. This is going to be a nice, quick episode for us today, mainly because at the end of the day, I ain't got that much to jabber about. But because we don't have too many updates on things that are happening. But I want to make sure that you guys get to be informed. Hi, Yuri. I see you on YouTube today. Okay. All right. Checking in from YouTube. So hey, everybody on Instagram and Facebook as well. Shout out to you guys for coming here so that you can be your own market expert and you can really know what's going on in the real estate world. So I am Dre Sher, the wedding realtor, and whether you want to say yes to the house or the spouse, I'm supporting you through life's most important moments. Okay. So let's get into what's going on. Let me switch my stuff up, make me little. There we go. Ooh, okay. So let's see what's going on with our national trends. So get this, y'all. 1/3 of houses for sale are newly built, which is just shy of a record. What does that mean for everybody? That's actually kind of good news because as I've been saying for since I've had the show, we need them to build the houses. I don't know what they need to. They've obviously put in some more work. As I drive through Las Vegas from end to end, I'm constantly seeing new build properties. I was actually in one a couple days ago. My colleague and I went and was like, let's go do some content. So we pulled up to a Richmond American neighborhood. And I remember just why I love Richmond American properties because their layouts are top tier. Um, Beautiful one-story properties that, for those of us that have been taken over for the 99s and the 2000s, the needs be needing, and we don't necessarily want to walk up all those stairs. Richmond America has some homes that are one story, so I thought that was really great. I got some content that I'm going to push out to kind of show you guys what they're offering. They're offering great incentives as well. Always go with a realtor, even to new builds, because again, I always say that the new build rep, they do a great job of making sure that the builder is happy. And so you need someone there that's going to do a great job of supporting you through the process of buying a home, even if it is a new build property. So always take someone with you. I know a lot of people like to you feel like I can just walk in there and go and they can just sign me up, like kind of at a leasing office for an apartment, but it's a bit more involved than that. And you just want to make sure that you got somebody that's looking out for you when you go to a new build property. But the good news is, y'all, 1/3 of houses for sale right now are new builds. And a big part of that is because people are also not trying to come up off of their house. Great grandma. She's not great grandma, but great grandma, boomer grandma. She said, I got my house for $30,000 in 1970, and I'm not leaving till the good Lord called me home. Shout out to grandma. Okay. Sometimes that's just what it is. And then also the people that have those great interest rates, they're just staying put, y'all. So for those of you that feel like maybe it's not enough out there for you, don't think so limited about it, because there is a tightening of inventory everywhere, which I talks about, and why the prices are where they are in most places is because of the lack of really good inventory. Um, but be patient. There's always options for something that's brand new that you don't have to fight anybody. I mean, I won't say you won't have to fight anybody, but you don't have to fight with people to actually get a property of your own. So there's that. Shout out to the new builds and to the builders that are actually helping us get it together. Okay. Gen Zers and young millennials took out 40% of US mortgages in 2023. Now, a couple weeks ago, I did an article. I posted a report from an article, rather, that was saying that millennials and Gen Zers don't believe they'll ever be able to afford a home. And a part of that is inflation, because everything is very freaking high right now. Absolutely. But also, the other piece of that is whether we're prepared to do so. And a lot of folks just don't feel prepared because, like I said, stuff is costing out there. Okay. But according to this, 40% of us had mortgages in 2023. Actually, in two in every five new mortgages issued last year, they went to buyers under 35, and 27% went to buyers that were between 35 and 44. So obviously, when younger people are going to be in a better state now, they're kind of figuring out their life, getting their finances together, getting more financially stable, they're growing their families. So it makes sense that people in those age range are making purchases of property at this time, as best that they can. And then older folks are more likely to pay cash because, of course, grandma and them cashed out on that house from 1954, and now they're ready to buy themselves a mansion cash. I don't know. They got it like that. But that was also something just to put into perspective for those of us that may think that we're not able to make purchases on properties as millennials. Like, it's out there. And I think a big part of that is basically getting behind a good team of people, getting a good team of people working with you, having an agent that's actually going to be there with you to guide you through the process before you decide to buy a home. Some agents think, okay, when you call me, when you pre-approve and you're ready, okay, don't call me otherwise. Personally, I'm not that type of realtor, and I wouldn't advise somebody that's trying to get into the industry, get their own property, their first property that may not be ready. You want to find someone that's willing to work with you through the process, and sometimes it might take a year. And if you want to know that somebody's been with you through that full journey. So if you're not ready today, find yourself a reliable agent that's willing to work with you through your journey of homeownership, because it's more than putting in an offer. It's the journey beforehand. And hopefully they have some lenders that they're able to hook you up with that are going to let you know, okay, take care of this on your credit. Don't worry about that. Just do this part. Can we get a better paycheck stub? Those type of things that are get you so that you look really, really good to the bank, and that you're actually able and ready to go ahead and make that purchase. Okay. That's all I got for y'all today. EDC was last week. Oh, and then this is the other thing. This is why I was late. I feel like I owe y'all an explanation because I be late sometimes, and I appreciate that y'all rock with me. But so I was out in Henderson because, as you guys know, I'm the wedding realtor. So I also produce and officiate weddings, and I have a potential a client that wants to look at some properties to have their wedding ceremony and everything. And so I've met this awesome lady. They call her Lady D. She's fantastic. Love this chick. She's actually a lender too. So if you're looking for any kind of business loans or even real estate loans, she does all types of loans. So yeah. So I hit her up and I said, let me come and check out your place. And I went out there 10 a.m. I was like, yeah, this would be a good time. I can get out there. I can get back and whatever. But while I was out there, I was like, you know what? I'm on this side of town. Maybe I'll stop and do the live somewhere else. And I used to go to East Las Vegas Library Center when I used to have my old podcast. If you know, you know that I had a podcast back in the day, a few years ago rather. And I used to go to East Las Vegas Library Center. It's brand new, gorgeous building, and it still is. Unfortunately, though, when I went today, I recognized like, oh, it's It's on the east side. It was lots of homeless people out there. And I said, I'm actually gonna go in here and I'm still gonna use the podcast room. But I had to wait. I had to wait like 30 minutes before I could use the room. And so I sat out there, and as I'm sitting, I'm like experiencing the experience of me being there, sitting in my business casual attire, you know, got my little buy drink, I'm working and whatever. And it stinks, there are obviously people in there that haven't showered, haven't had anywhere to sleep. Like the library is a safe space for homeless people to go, people without homes, unhoused people, however people want to say it, for them to go. And with that, I just felt, I didn't feel irritated or anything, because you never know. Some people could have been Wall Street, whoever, and then now they're freaking homeless today. And most people in America are literally 2 paychecks from being in the gutter themselves. So there's no judgment, but it really did make me put into perspective just what I was about to do. Like, okay, I'm here in this library. I'm probably, me and the staff, the only people in here that actually have somewhere to live. And I'm going to go on here and I'm going to talk to people about home ownership and how you can put your money down and this and that. And there are programs out there for you guys, right? While being surrounded by people that a lot of them have zero hope, zero expectation of change for their life. And really are also a lot of mental illnesses out there. And so it reminded me that I have to figure out my thing for my give back. And I've always, if you like really know me, I always have had a soft spot for people that are unhoused. Like, there's a lot, and I'm sitting them in there. I'm like, what is America gonna do with this? Because it needs attention. So making that my goal, and I'm just saying it here now so that you guys hold me accountable. Like, Dre, you said you were gonna do some fundraisers. Dre, you said you were gonna do something, but I am. Okay, so if you're on the show, if you watch me regularly, whatever, at some point expect for me to reach out and say, hey, this is what we're doing for people that do not have a place to go. Stay tuned for that stuff. As you can see, I'm not at the place because obviously I'm at my house now. The Wi-Fi wasn't good enough, so that's why I was late. I had to race back to the north side from the east side so that I could be here and have good Wi-Fi, because if I didn't, we wouldn't be having this conversation now. Anyway, moving right along, let's get into these local trends. EDM was happening last weekend. That thing really messed up my travel. But shout out to the EDMers for having a good time. Did y'all see that check? It was somebody that spent like, I think it was like $390 some thousand on bottle service and water out there. And I was just like, damn. And it kind of put it into another perspective. Like, people out here got money. It's the polarity of everything that just makes me go, wow. People are out here spending literally a mortgage on a weekend to have a good time, turn up. I love it. If you got it and you want to do what you want to do with your stuff, have a good time. Invite me next time. Put me in the section. Okay. I'm down. I like to party a little bit, not a lot, a little bit. Anyway, that was a crazy thing. The traffic was absolutely ridiculous. Memorial Day weekend is coming up. So I hope you guys are planning to have some awesome stuff happening. I have a wedding on Saturday, so see me out there after the fact. So what we got going on in Henderson? Let me move myself out of the way. Boom. All right, in the city of Henderson, this is what we got going on right now, y'all. So the inventory, good news, has increased to 798. If I knew what it was before, I would tell you, but I don't. Okay, but it is a slight seller's market, slight seller's advantage in Henderson, which is actually a downtick because last week it was a seller's market for sure out there. The median price of new listings, if you look at that green circle, you got 550K for median new listings, which you notice that little arrow or the drop off at the end of that graph there, showing that it's down from last week. Median days on market are going to be 35 days. I was talking to you guys more about the average days on market, but now I think I'm going to focus more on the median days on market because that's like across the board, you're going to be if you're looking to sell your home, 35 days is about what you're looking at. The median rent in Henderson is $23.95. So if you want to continue paying 100% interest on renting, do that. I'm not here to judge. Do your thing. Okay. We're looking at these median prices because remember, I always tell you guys, you got 4 quadrants basically of price points, and each price point is its own market. Right. So in our luxury market, that 2 million up there, the top $2,679,580 average median, those homes are in a more balanced market. They're looking at 77 days on market. So that really gives people that are in that looking for those more luxury properties, higher end properties, you have a bit more balance going on there. At the 779,000 mark, we're looking at 42 days on market. So also, I mean, I wouldn't say totally balanced. It's still slightly seller's advantage there. But that market is also doing very well right now with 42. The market is still moving there. On the lower half here, we got 435,000 at the lower end of affordability in Henderson, and they're looking at 35 days on market. So with that being said, and I always like to remind you guys that each quadrant is its own market. So if your spending power is in that $435,000 bracket, you got a little more competition, than say the $2 million bracket. But less competition than that 579K bracket there. So that's Henderson. Shout out to Henderson. You guys go do cool stuff out there because apparently that's where all the cool stuff is. Moving right along to the city of Las Vegas, we got a strong seller's market in Las Vegas. Inventory has also increased to 2,361. And that's good news. We got, like I said, the builders are building. So a lot of those properties are also new build properties. As I've been driving around, there have been so many new build opportunities out there. So for those of you that are trying to bank on, like I said, getting that house that's already over there that Susan lives in and Susan's not trying to sell, maybe you might want to decide to actually look at some new build properties. So the median price of new listings is at 495K, which is again a down, showing that the median of new price listings is a decrease in prices basically, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. We actually kind of want that for those of you that are in a certain bracket of spending power. The median days on market is still right there at 35 days. So if you are looking to put your house on the market, you can expect to be done in 35 days, gone through the whole process of escrow. The median rent is going to be $23.50, which is it's been an uptick, but it's kept constant for the last couple weeks in Las Vegas. And so, and the higher end, that luxury end of Las Vegas, you're looking at the $1.3 million spending bracket. Days on market is going to be 56. So again, this is a more balanced market than say that lower end at 389 of 28 days on market. So that's less than 1 month. If you list your home in the city of Las Vegas and its value is at 389K, around that area, in 30 days, you could be, living with wherever you want to be, but also living with the equity that you've earned through however long you've been in your home. North Las Vegas, North Side. Okay, it's a strong seller's market up here. Inventory has held steady. Okay, that's why it's a super strong seller's market. And each month, that little tick just keeps ticking on up. Okay, and it's a strong, like I said, it's a strong seller's market up here in the North Side because people again are realizing that it's just a tad bit more affordable on the North Side. We might not have 9,000 posh restaurants to go into yet, but it's definitely coming because last weekend David and I went to this Mexican restaurant, y'all, and I just felt I was glad that the restaurant was there because I was like, "Ooh, this is new, it's posh," right? And then it's right next to a Roberto's. So if you know Vegas, you know what Roberto's is. It's right next to that. And not that Roberto's has super awesome Mexican food, but at least it's a little more authentic than the place that was there. I went in there and I was like, I can already tell that this is going to be some mid Mexican, and it was. So I'm just asking y'all, if you are thinking about bringing your business to North Las Vegas, make sure you got make sure there's flavor in the food. We like flavor on the north side, okay? Anyway, the median list price of new listing is going to be 434K, which is right around steady from last week and the week before. Median days on market is also 35 days. The same with Henderson and North and City of Las Vegas. And the median rent has gone up just a tad to $2,225, just in case you want to keep doing what you're doing. And if you needed to keep doing what you're doing, shoot, your life is your own. I don't know your business. Okay. So if you good with renting, you do that. Okay. North Las Vegas, we were looking at those 4 quadrants of properties. If we notice, everything is 35 days except for the lower end, which is even less amount of days. So at the high end in Las Vegas, you got properties that are averaging at 559K, and those properties are going in 35 days. And same for 470 and 427. And then you get into that 377 range, and those homes are out of here in 28 days. A lot of investors are buying those properties. Again, y'all, if you're thinking about purchasing a property, do it, because the investors are buying it up, and the investors are buying it because they're thinking about the fact that people are going to rent and they're going to keep renting. There are programs out there if you need help with any type of assistance as far as home buy or first time home buyer programs, grant programs. Like, the stuff is out there. You just need to know who to ask for, and then when you have somebody to ask for, ask them. Okay, that's why I have the show. Ask questions. This is a two-way conversation. You guys can always ask questions in the comment section, and always hit me up in my DMs, slide in the DMs if that's what you want to do. And then we got Pahrump here. I know that's what you've been waiting on, Yuri. You've been waiting for Pahrump to pull up, because that's his town out there in the woods. I'm kidding. They don't have trees. Okay, so it's a slight seller's advantage in Pahrump. And it's about the same as it was last month, keeping kind of steady. Inventory is held steady at around 197. Median price for new listings is at 387K, which is pretty steady from last week. Median days on market is going to be 56 days, so which is actually a downturn from last week. So they're moving a little bit faster than last week, and the median rent is going to be $1,650. This is my thing, y'all. Sometimes when you want something, you got to do something you want to do. And some of y'all might need to go and rent out in Pahrump for a while, because they rent is cheap, $1,650. You know, you might have to drive 2 days to get to the city, but it's okay. Then we're looking at those price points again, those 4 quadrants of buying power. You got 565K at the high end. That's going to be tied with the 390K properties for 70 days on market. So it's way more balanced in those parts of the buying quadrants, so to speak. And then you got the $330,000 properties, which are at the lower end. Those are on market for 49 days. A lot of those properties probably are older properties, don't necessarily have upgrades and things like that. But that's another thing that people should consider if they can, that if you want to get more out of the property that you have, make the upgrades, do the upgrades now. And once you do the upgrades, it's going to be more appealing to a buyer. And then that will make your property more comparable to other properties that are upgraded. You can't be out here trying to sell your property and you got these old everything's in there. Everything's old. You old, the house old, the appliances old. Okay. You can't really want, have an expectation that you're going to get top dollar for your property if you haven't invested into it enough to make it appealing to buyers. And remember that buyers today are, like we said before, they're millennials or Gen Zers. So they want to make sure that they get something that's going to be, a little snazzy. Okay. So the properties that are around 440K, they're on market for 35 days. So that's the most competition you're going to have, those of you that are wanting to get into that 440K range with your buying power. So yeah, that's it, y'all. That's me hiring me housing spouses, both, the wedding realtor. I am getting out of here because I do have quite a few runs that I need to do today to make sure everything is everything in the middle of escrow right now. So we're waiting on some appraisal stuff. We just went through the inspection, got the inspection report back, and we're good to go on our inspection end. We just need this thing to appraise at what they're asking. So for those of you that don't know, when you go into the buying process, you have to get your inspection and your appraisal done. Okay. So the appraisal is basically saying, what is that home worth? Well, sometimes sellers, and this is what I was just talking about, sellers will say, oh, I really want to make X amount of dollars off of this house when I sell it. And I understand that we all have our motivations and things that we want or need. But when you're looking at property and when you're selling it, you have to understand that your home's only going to sell for what the market is willing to pay. And not only what the market is willing to pay, but whether the condition of your property is actually warrants the amount of money that you're wanting for it. So that's what the appraisal is there for, because the bank is only going to lend the buyer up to the amount that the house is actually worth. Okay. If I tried to sell you some Air Force Ones for the price of Louboutins, you would look at me crazy. Okay. So it's the same concept. Okay. You can't be out here with this black Air Force One house, but you want the Louboutin price point on it. It's just not. And so to my sellers, when you work with me, just know that I will bring you down to, you know, basically where you should be thinking, just to kind of keep things in perspective. Because I know people have a lot of attachment to their property, emotional attachment. So I'm there to kind of help you to sell your home as fast as you can for the most money that you can get, without wasting too much of your time and energy trying to sell your home, as wonderful and awesome as it probably is, for what the market just will not allow. Because we don't want to waste anybody's time, especially not yours or mine. Okay. So anyway, y'all know what it is. My name is Dracia. I'm the wedding realtor. And whether you want to say yes to the house or the spouse, I'm here supporting you through life's most important moments. I'm going to marry some people on Saturday. So shout out to that. Shout out to you guys. Have a great weekend. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, definitely reach out to me. Shout out to me in my DMs or my contact info. All the things are there. You can find me. Okay. And I'll be happy to help you through this process wherever you are in the home buying or selling or investing part of your career. So I'm out of here. Toodles.